Let's talk about where to start when you are feeling overwhelmed by the mess. It's very easy as a mom to look around your house and see piles of toys and piles of dishes and piles of laundry and feel totally overwhelmed by the mess. Sometimes you're not even sure where to start. The first thing I want to say is that it's totally normal and that most of us moms would probably have been there at one point or another, maybe once a week. Uh, it's totally normal to feel like that. And there are a few things that you can do to tackle the mess without feeling overwhelmed. The first thing I always say is perspective and mindset make a big difference. Thinking about cleaning is often worse than actually doing the task because we can make the task easier. We can fold laundry while we're watching TV. We can find ways to tackle the tasks. It's often just looking at that mess and thinking about how much you have to do that is the most overwhelming part. So we're going to try not to think about the entire mess, and instead we're going to take some steps to make it a little bit easier. If you've ever heard the expression, the hardest workout you'll ever do is the first one. That's going to apply to probably just about everything, and especially when it comes to cleaning. Often getting up and doing that first task is the most difficult one, no matter what it is. So we're going to take a couple of steps, talk about a couple of things that you can do to kind of beat the overwhelm and get started on your mess. The number one thing I want to tell you, and we kind of touched on this in the beginning, is to break it down. Thinking about cleaning your entire house or even thinking about cleaning the playroom is overwhelming. So instead of trying to tackle big tasks, let's try and break it down into smaller, manageable tasks. So one of the things that you can do to get started and to break it down into those tasks is to pick 3 things that drive you crazy. The 3 things that are overwhelming you the most right now in your house. Anything that has to do with a mess. Anything you're feeling overwhelmed by, you just want to kind of get those things dealt with. So pick just 3 things and tackle those things. It can be the entryway. You will always hear me say the entryway when I talk about picking a tasks, because when I walk in my house and I am tripping over shoes and there are coats thrown on the floor, it drives me crazy. It's the one thing that stresses me so much, so you're always going to hear me reference that. So maybe the entryway is your pain point, or maybe you have something else that every time you see it, your blood pressure just goes up. If you see a pile of dishes in the sink, or that pile of toys in the living room, whatever it is for you, pick 3 things that stress you the most and tackle those things right now. Well, when you're done with the video, but throw on some headphones, tune out, kind of find your groove, and tackle just those 3 things. If those 3 things are really big, tackle one thing. Just getting yourself started is, like I said, the hardest part. It's just getting that first task done. Pick the thing that drives you the most crazy and start with that. If you can tackle all 3 of those things, you're going to feel really accomplished and be ready to build on that momentum. As you start to do the tasks, it will feel less overwhelming because as you realize that they're actually just small things that you have to do instead of clean my whole house, which is a huge thing. They become much more manageable and much less overwhelming. That is kind of why we have a system. That's why I created the Happy Mom system and why the declutter system is kind of broken down that way. Once we are able to tackle these big things and kind of get past the overwhelm, then we have a system in place to keep all of these things managed so that they're not piling up and kind of, most importantly, not weighing on your mind. When am I going to get to it? So much needs done. So one of the ways that we kind of get you started, if you're still feeling a little bit overwhelmed and you're still not sure where to start, I have a 5-day declutter jumpstart. It is kind of you'll get an email every day for 5 days of pre-planned tasks that you just follow, and they're smaller things. Like I said, we keep this small and manageable pieces. I'm not going to tell you to clean out your garage, because that's not a small task. That's like a weekend event, or at least it is around here. In this 5-day declutter jumpstart, I'm going to give you 5 days of pre-planned out tasks. Should take you about half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how big your refrigerator is, things like that. But they're small tasks that you can manage, and they help you kind of feel accomplished. So once you are able to clean out your fridge, and every time you open that fridge and it's clean, you're going to feel like that you accomplished something, and that you're kind of taking steps to manage all of that clutter, or kind of get on top of your cleaning. And that is a free email series, and I will drop the link below so you can sign up for that. That's also going to kind of get the ball rolling for you. If you're not sure where to start, if you can't even pick 3 things, that's a great place to start. All you have to do is throw in your email, and we'll get that right over to you. Like I said, I'll put the link in the comments so you can grab that. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can get more tips. And I can't wait to see all the things you accomplish with your clean house.